Greetings, YouTube. So I stumbled upon a social media questionnaire this morning, and you folks know how much I love questionnaires. So I thought, what the heck, I'll open these up here for answering. What was the first social network online community you joined, and when and why did you join it? I think probably the first one I ever joined would have been the MIRC chat community. And basically I joined it because at the time my ex-wife was a member and I got kind of pulled into it, and we had a mutual friend online and I spent a lot of time chatting with her and just talking about things in general. Then of course I was also involved in the news groups on Usenet and eventually on the forums that dealt with gaming, and that eventually rolled into my interest in YouTube. Which is where we are now. Which online communities are you part of now? Well, YouTube is my main online community, and then there's a number of other, again, the news groups, specifically the D&D Usenet news group, and a number of gaming boards that I still read on a regular basis, though less than I used to. I just haven't really been into them a whole lot lately. I'm on the gaming news group, however, every single day. I check that. Every time I check my email, I check the news group as well. And we actually have some content occasionally. It's not just Flame Wars. How long have you been part of them? I think I first joined online communities in '95, but I could be wrong. I'm not really good at that whole memory thing. When did you join YouTube? Well, officially it was May 7th, 2007, though I did pretty much nothing with my channel at all. No content whatsoever. I don't even remember signing up for YouTube till about 6 months before I started uploading. I just stumbled on a video. It was linked to something else. I started watching them, and then I discovered the whole concept. You could subscribe to things. I didn't even understand how you subscribed to things originally. And then I realized, hey, I have a YouTube account that I had forgotten I had, and it was, tangentially related to, I think, to my old Yahoo or Hotmail account. I can't remember which, but my Yahoo account, which is long dead. So is my Hotmail account, for that matter. Eventually, I got bitten by the vlogging bug, which is coming up on my 4th anniversary as of March 1st. That's kind of cool. Why did I join the YouTube community? Well, I joined it because I'm an opinionated bastard, and apparently I like to talk to cameras by myself in a room. What do you enjoy about the YouTube community? I enjoy the interaction. I decided a while ago that if I'm going to interact with people, I want them to be real people. I want them to be you. I decided to move away from relating to fictional characters on television. If I'm going to invest myself in people, they should be real people. What are your least favorite things about YouTube, e.g. creative outlet and meeting new people with common interests, shared interests, etc.? Well, those are probably some of my favorite things. I enjoy being creative. I enjoy talking about things and sharing things. I like the fact that occasionally I can actually help people. I can spread the news about things I love and things I don't love. And I've met some awesome people. My friend Amelia, my friend Skull and Kara, my friend Matt, the Gentleman Gamer, Samwise7, Tim. I met some really cool people here on YouTube. Mike, the Weapon Collector. Some really nice people here on YouTube. And I'm very fortunate for having them in my life. Things I don't like about them, well, we'll get to those shortly. What changes have you noticed within the community in recent years since you joined? Comments on negatives and positives. Well, of course, the greater commercialization of YouTube. When I started uploading, there wasn't a lot of it. Eventually, corporations discovered that whole YouTube thing, and once they did, well, the sky is now the limit. Now we have ads everywhere. I put them on my videos. I'll probably be putting one on this one because, I get ad revenue, which I use at the moment, unfortunately, to pay off some bills. But eventually, I use my ad revenue to buy myself toys, which I then review on YouTube, which then gets me more views, which I then use the ad revenue to buy more toys. It's a vicious circle. I also have noticed the quarterly panic, YouTube is changing, which we go through every 3 to 4 months here on YouTube, which I find incredibly tiresome. Yes, life is change. Get used to it. If you make videos, what inspired you to start making them? Why have you continued? How long have you been doing it? Well, technically I've been doing this since March 1st, 2009. Go back and look at my first video. It was horrible. I do it because I like to talk to people, because I like to engage with people, because I like to exchange ideas and spread concepts, and because, again, I am an opinionated bastard. How important is your subscriber count to you? I actually really like having a subscriber count. I enjoy the fact that I know my subscriber count goes up. I try to make an effort to welcome everyone that joins my channel. There have been exceptions. I've had purely commercial channels that subscribe to me for some unknown reason. They don't get a welcome. The neo-Nazi who joined, I have no idea if he's still here. You didn't get a welcome. Your page was deeply offensive. But I like having over 2,100 subscribers, and when I hit 3,000, I'll do another Q&A video. What is your opinion on advertising, product placements in or about videos? Do you think people are becoming sellouts? I hate the term sellouts. If you do what you love, cool. If you do what you love and you can make some money as well, 2 thumbs up for you. It's the nature of this. We want to pay for this site. It doesn't cost me anything to run this channel. YouTube has to make a buck. I got no problem with the ads. I can skip them. I can watch them. Occasionally I watch them because some of them are actually interesting. Some of them baffle me. I saw one yesterday. I live in New Hampshire. I saw one yesterday for a business in Florida. Some algorithms are not working that well. How has the YouTube community benefited you personally? Friends? Toys? I have owned any number of toys because I use my ad revenue to buy myself toys. I've gotten free swag. A number of gaming companies over the years have sent me stuff. In fact, I was contacted by one just yesterday about getting something free. They want me to review it for them. I've met some people who I've helped with their personal role-playing projects and things like that. So involvement, so that right there is a benefit if you ask me. And the examples they give are making friends, attending gatherings, giving the opportunity to have your voice heard. Those are all legitimate reasons as well. I've never been to a gathering, however. I'm not sure if any of you are real or you all are just digital echoes in the machine. What negative experiences have you had? Have you ever been a victim of cyberbullying, hate? Could you describe the experience if you feel comfortable? Well, yes, trolls and haters are here all the time. I remove comments on a regular basis, and I block people occasionally. I just had to do that yesterday. I gave him every shot I could, and after 3 negative comments where he was espousing some incredibly misogynistic worldviews, I sent him a message saying, strike 3. I then removed his comments and mine about his comments, and then blocked him. Because you have every right in the world in the United States to speak your mind. You don't have the right to use my channel to spread discrimination and hatred. So that's what it is. You want to talk about something in a respectful manner? I'll let you talk about something in a respectful manner. You want to just have discussions with me and my fellow commenters? You can have discussions here anytime you want. You act like an ass, you bully people, you threaten people, you're discriminatory and racist or bigoted and things like that. I don't have to put up with it. That's the way it is. I'm not the government. It is not censorship. It is just not allowing you to use my channel as your platform for hate. I've had someone who told me that they'd hacked my computer. Interestingly, he threatened that he'd threatened someone else who was a subscriber of mine, who's actually in the computer industry and does computer security as a living. And the hacker claimed to have gotten into his hard drive and was reading his data, and he was using Windows nomenclature for his threats. And the individual in question who did security for a living ran a Linux system. So he knew that the guy was just BSing him, but he was BSing him in a very realistic way, and an individual who didn't have any kind of net savvy might have actually been intimidated by this person's empty, hollow threats. So I just removed his comments and sent him on his way by blocking him. But I get that kind of thing all the time. I get threats of violence. I get the occasional very thinly veiled love interest, which is usually couched in the term of violence because the person can't come to grips with the fact that they find me attractive, or men in general. And once in a blue moon, I do get a legitimate threat of a death threat. And they always warm the cockles of my heart, because if you're that invested in what I'm saying, I hit a button. What impact do you feel YouTube has had on society? Altering the music book charts with Alec Day's Forever Yours, John Green's The Fault of Our Stars, changing the meaning of celebrity, and i.e. every creator is famous, high-profile YouTubers. It's definitely expanded the concept of the cult of personality. We can all have a platform to speak now. All of us can be a star in our own little stage. And sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad. And how you fall on that scale is, I think, about what you want to do. Do you want to help? Do you want to hurt? Do you want to connect? Or do you want to sever? Do you want to be a builder or a destroyer? And while I have said negative things in the past, and I will say negative things in the future, I like to think of myself as a builder, not a destroyer. There are times when you have to tear things down to build them up, but there are times when being negative isn't helping. And I like to think that I help more than I hurt. I could be wrong. I am a dirty, filthy, neo-pagan socialist, after all. And I have to say that some of the things here on YouTube, like, for example, I am baffled by Alex Day's popularity. Some of his music is catchy. I freely admit it. The guy's got a decent voice, but I find him arrogant and annoying, and he keeps trying to channel Bono. I'm not quite figuring out why he does that. I like the Greens. I find them engaging and interesting. I think John Green's a talented guy. I think his brother's a talented guy. I watch a lot of their videos, not all of them, and they've spread a lot of knowledge. They have shown to be builders, not destroyers, and I appreciate that. The community that's built around them has helped, I think, us in general as net citizens. So I approve. As far as high-profile YouTubers go, some of the egos have gotten a bit big. The whole concept that, people seem to be shocked when gatherings have gotten to a certain point where they start needing security and stuff. Well, yeah. We've reached a subculture point where we're starting to fracture. One of the first things a subculture does after it separates itself from the culture at large is it grows. The second thing it does is it fractures into smaller subgroups. That's just what it does. People are tribal. When a tribe gets too large, the tribe breaks up into smaller tribes. It's what we do. It's what we have always done. I personally contend that no social group more than 200 people is ever going to be stable. So we tend to break ourselves up into smaller groups than 200 just because it's more comfortable for us. Online, that's easier to do because you can pretend that the group you're a member of, any group, no matter how large it is under 200 people, because the number of people that you are in contact with in that group is under 200 people. And then when you go to a gathering, be it Gen Con or somewhere in the city or VidCon, suddenly you discover that all the people there who all thought that they were in communities under 200 people are actually in communities that are friggin' huge. And it baffles us and it overwhelms us. And it's like a wave of anxiety rolling across us because suddenly you realize you were part of something much, much bigger. Sometimes we don't handle that well. Discuss any other stories you think are important, relevant, i.e. Charlie McDonald's I'm Scared, Amanda Todd. I don't remember the Amanda Todd thing. It sounds familiar. Charlie McDonald's entitled to say I'm scared. He's entitled to talk about his anxiety about putting up videos and his wanting to please and his concept that he feels that he would fail to do so, which just ramps up his anxiety into a vicious circle. I wish him the best. I hope that he gets some cognitive behavior therapy and gets over that. I'm not afraid to be here. I'm just not. I talk about very hard things on this channel, very open things. While my life is not a complete open book, a whole lot of it is open to the world. And I do that intentionally. I want other people to see that you are not alone. That there are other people out there who are vulnerable and hurt, who have been broken in the past, and who have rebuilt themselves and are working towards being better in the future. It takes effort, and it takes friends and family and therapy and reading and contemplation and communities to distract you. It takes a lot of stuff. But there's hope. And you can do it. And don't let anyone in the world tell you otherwise. And I think that's one of the best aspects of YouTube and social media. it can really do great things, and it's powerful. It's as important, I think, to the world now as the Gutenberg press was when it was invented. Any other stories or opinions to share? Feel free to discuss this topic further. Well, I think that I'm, being, like I said, the opinionated bastard that I am, and I'm going on to 15 minutes here. I have pretty much said everything I need to with these questions. I will include the questions in the info bar, and people can do video responses, or they can give me comments in the comment section. I do enjoy, again, engagement. That's what I'm here for. That's what I enjoy about YouTube. I like getting involved in people's lives. Because you're more interesting than any fictional characters I've ever encountered. Because remember, fictional characters have to make sense. Real people, like you and I, they don't.